Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we are up on the Great Lakes. Tim and I have driven back up here to do some fall bass fishing. We're a little bit ahead in the season here, so up here you get true fall earlier. We're going to go out here and chase some big smallmouth around. Obviously, when you're out on the Great Lakes, you have no idea what you're in for. It's giant water, anything can happen. But today we're fishing a new area, somewhere we've never been, complete new experiments. We're about to dump the boat in, make a big long run out into open water. And what we're hoping to do is fish some offshore fish, some fish that have moved out onto offshore rock, to hard bottom, and are hopefully feeding aggressively. So we'll be throwing swim baits like the dark sleeper, maybe a Kitech, those things you're used to us throwing up here. Maybe we can still get a topwater thing going. I hope that would be really fun. And then we'll finesse if we need to. Tube, Ned rig, hair jig, drop shot, right? We've got a whole array of things to throw at these fish as we break down a brand new section of giant water. Yep, sure is. First fish of the day, and he had a second one come up with him. If you want a talon, even though it's gonna be loud on the drop, just gonna stop. These fish oftentimes school up, so even though we drop those on rocks and it's banging and clanging, better to stay in the general area. Nice fish. That's the way to start. Throwing that dark sleeper, just fan casting, searching for a starting point, right? We've got a plan in our minds, offshore structure. We're out here on just a giant rock flat. But I mean giant, thousands of feet across. So you're just covering water. That dark sleeper is something that you can throw easily and just keep going and going and going until one eats. And then you stop and see if you can get it to repeat. Not quite the one we're looking for, but we'll take every one of them.
Did he hook up? Did you feel it? Yeah. Yeah, he'd go. Golly. That was awesome. "20 minutes in and we're sitting on a school."
So much fun. Trying to get a better bite on topwater. This is a nice fish. Man, it's fat. But it's early fall out here on the Great Lakes and I get to wear shorts. What a pleasant surprise. Weather's been crazy all year and today's no different. Fully thought that we'd be in cold weather gear and Instead, out here in shorts and flip-flops, catching topwater smallies on the Great Lakes. Come on, bud. Nice one.
Oh, it was a bite. He's right there. Going that way, he's right there. Good job.
This fish bit my jerkbait. Just didn't hook up. And then we saw him and he started to swim off. Tim followed up with a hair jig. Got him.
He's got friends.
Does he?
Yep.
Oh shoot. His friend's swimming away too. I might get it.
Light line and big smallmouth. There's not many things that are better. Come on, dude. Jesus. Come. Pretty fish. Got him on that hair jig. Look at that dude. Real dark, fat. So like Matt said, thanks bud. He was throwing that jerk bait. Thought he got bit, right? You called, I think I just got bit. Saw the fish after it got too close to the boat. So I led him with that light line, that hair jig, and just slowly reeled it and dunk, loaded up. So it's always good to have a follow-up bait. I know there's two of us right now, but if you're fishing solo, it's always good to have a rod right on the deck that you could set down, pick up the light stuff, lead it, and try and get those fish to.
I knew they'd eat a jerkbait with this wind blowing. Oh, he came off. That was a nice fish. Bummer. Just pulled off. He traded me a scale. Throwing that guy right there. Elegy bone. Division 110. Nice. Get out of your way. Sorry, bud.
Been waiting so long for this rod to come back to the market. This is the 901 hair jig rod, Interex, and it's been a staple.
Oh, he's got a buddy.
It's been a staple for years. For some reason, they pulled it out of the lineup, and then just recently they brought it back. So it's a 7.5 foot 1-power rod. It's perfect for light line, light baits, finesse applications. But I love it for the hair jig. Big, big one?
Yeah. He was all over it. Oh, do it. This one
is the dark one. I can't see the blonde one, but it was the blonde one that came up on me. And I mean, he came up on it. Yeah, that's the dark one. My goodness. The fish are in the mood today, although that is a nice one. He hit it twice. We've probably had 10 short strikes between, we had to stop on this rock pile, between the dark sleeper, topwater, jerk bait, just a ton of fish nipping at the baits and either coming off or not hooking up. It may be the heat that has got these fish in that weird funk. I mean, this is definitely not a normal situation out on the Great Lakes any time of year, let alone in the fall. But we'll keep playing with color, adapting as we go, and hopefully we can get them to really start locking on. Got him. That took no time. That was 3 twitches in. Somebody's a little, oh, he came off! No! I made a color switch to that guy right there. He was on it. He had a face full just with all that jumping, he came off, but hopefully that's the color. I'll take a net. Yeah, I'll take a net. Oh, he's hauling. Holy cow, he's right here.
It's a good one.
He's not haul.
Oh, he's got a
He's got a spot. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'll take a net on that one. Score! Dark sleeper. Jumbo smallie. He's got a crazy, oh, it's on this side. He's got a crazy white spot on him. That is just a really unique, really, really cool fish. And he's big. So a little midday update for you. Today is a strange day. On the one hand, it's going incredibly well. We're fishing a brand new area we know nothing about. We almost landed on fish this morning. I mean, we started getting bit immediately. We've caught quite a few fish, and we've caught some big ones. I mean, legitimate big ones. On that side, no complaints. But on the other side, and what you guys aren't seeing, is all the misses. We are having a really weird day. We have probably missed
20.
At least 20, yeah. We've missed a ton of fish. Missing the topwater, missing the jerkbait, missing the swim bait, missing a tube and a drop shot and a Ned rig when we follow up. There's a lot of things that can cause that, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. We said, obviously, it's unseasonably warm, right? Bizarre how warm it is. That could be a major factor with these fish getting funny. So they're still willing to chase, they're still willing to bite. We're getting some of them, but I would say we're only getting about half of them, if that. So it's just got them in a weird place. Now, there are other things that could contribute to that, right? Moon phase can contribute to that. Water conditions, things we don't know anything about. Water temperature, if there were clarity changes. We have no way to know whether or not that stuff is changing right now because we haven't been around here. But one of the things you can do when it gets like this is play with color. So you can get as involved or as simplified as you want to get with color, like talking worms. A guy can grab a green pumpkin Senko and go fish every day of his life and catch a lot of fish, right? And just never change. So there are guys that are like, I'm gonna take green pumpkin and go. And that's perfectly okay, it works. But there are also days when these fish get into these weird moods, these little funks, where playing with color, playing with style can make a complete 180 in their attitude. So as an example, jerkbaits. Now there are core jerkbaits that we cover and we fish with all the time. And in fact, in the video description, I'll link you some of our like main core colors. Because you don't need a bunch of jerkbaits to catch fish, just like you could get away with a green pumpkin Senko and go. But you have the ability to experiment, and sometimes you can really dial it in. Now today isn't necessarily one of those days. I started out with this guy. See that bright chartreuse belly? Now we're talking crystal clear water. But when I get around smallmouth, I love baits that have that chartreuse in them. I love it. And it can do exceptionally well with largemouth too, but particularly smallmouth. They just freak out for it. So I started out with elegy bone, just trying to get those fish to react, and it was working. I was getting some bites, hooked some fish, lost them, but I immediately started playing with color. This was my third stop. And ultimately, I didn't do phenomenal with this color either, but you can see what I'm talking about where we're adapting, right? I started with I went to a color in between these two as well that was a little more neutral, but still had a lot going on. And then ultimately, we ended up about as natural and as muted as you could get without going to a matte finished color. So just playing with color, trying to get those fish to just lock in on those baits. You don't want to be afraid to do that. You know, if you're catching them on a green pumpkin drop shot and you go out the next day and for whatever reason, they're just in a funk, try Margarita Mutilator. That's basically purple, if you're not familiar with that. Try a pink worm. Try a shad colored worm. You can adapt, and sometimes when they're funky, it will make all the difference in the world. We're still in the thick of it today. We are pushing and trying to dial them in. So we'll see if color saves it today. Now granted, I say saves it, we're still smashing. We are having a really, really good day out here. We've caught quite a few and we've caught big. But we've also seen, because the water here is so clear, the size of some of the fish that have bit and not hooked up. And that burns a little. So this is the main color that we've been throwing this morning. Tim's been tying on different colors, cycling. I've kind of been running that control, just throwing the same color. And once in a while I get a good one, but I miss a bunch too. And we're just trying to find that something. We'll know in a few more hours whether or not we can dial it further, or if we just accept that one out of every handful hooks up and we'll take what we can get. Got him.
No friends? Whoa. He knows he's hooked now. That's amazing. Not sure this one's ever seen a hook before. He is upset. Hey, buddy. Beautiful fish. Got him? Nice. You recording? Yeah. Oh, it's a good fish too. I'm just gonna scoop him because you're on such light line. That's only 6, by the way. Okay. Did he eat the tube?
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe. Coming up eventually.
He ran from you.
Nice fish.
Now this fish, I actually saw avoid my swim bait, my sleeper. So what you guys don't know is this is right after Matt stopped talking and I had cycled through, you'll see me cycle through a couple different rods. Hair jig, picked up this tube and just slow fished it on the bottom and got one of those fish that I saw to commit. Come here, dude. It's a nice fish too. He absolutely got this tube.
Isn't that funny? Like he wanted nothing to do with us, and then when he eats it, he just munches it.
Right.
All the way.
Another nice quality smallmouth. Ate that guy right there. Little bitty tube. Thanks, buddy. It's a heavy fish. Nice pretty one. Look through the bait.
Yeah, definitely. What rod am I using? I stole Tim's rod. He had a Ned rig on.
That's the Ned rig rod.
Oh, it's the Ned rig rod? What pound line am I using? I don't even know how to fight him.
That's 6.
Okay.
If it goes to show you anything, that's how our today's going. Lots of missed opportunities on the swim bait, reaction fish. We're finally slowing down now that we've found some key areas with fish and picking it apart with finesse. I'm gonna net him for you.
No, I'll get it.
That's a pretty fish.
Yeah, super dark.
Got him. That was the, oh yeah, he got pieces.
Yeah,
That's that desert craw.
He tore it to pieces. Beautiful, just almost a black smallmouth. I love that color. Really pretty blue-green on his gill plate. So that was a desert craw Robo Ned before he jumped and just completely destroyed it, but at least he left me a little piece. Nice. Turning into a pattern.
Another one just slowing down. Thanks, dude. We're fishing these giant flats. We're kind of figuring out, like Matt said, we've never been here before, but we're figuring out that certain areas of these flats have bigger boulders and some just solo giant boulders. Whenever we can see those and make casts to them with the finesse baits, we're either getting bit or catching them. So, yeah. Start of a pattern. We'll see if we can run into some more big boulders, but so far it's working.
Do you think it was the size of bait? Look at him. He's a giant. Go. He's in here. I'm on bottom. Keep an eye on him. I don't have him. He was right here. We're sliding the quick, so he's maybe out here somewhere. Dude, that was like a goby bite.
Was it?
Yeah, it's just fainter than that, like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a goby. It was the same. Oh yeah, he's got prang. Switch baits. They're still there. You got a Ned? Yeah. Right here. See him? Yep. Good. He sees it. He's up there. See him? Nice lead. That could do it. He's right to you. Come here, buddy. Had a fish follow up the dark sleeper. Picked up the tube and he ate it. And he came up with another one. Tim's got a Ned rig out there trying to convert both of them. But having that follow-up bait paid off. In this case, it's that little STH 2.5 inch tube. That's that little Blade Runner inhaler head we always talk about. Super heavy wire, but little tiny on a 2.5 inch tube. So when they eat that little package, I've still got a big heavy hook in them and I stand a chance of getting them to the boat.
You feeling the hair jig?
Yeah, I grabbed your
I
rod.
was down there looking at my hair jig. I'm like, where'd my hair jig go?
It's right there in that smallmouth's mouth. Dude, he's just going.
Oh yeah.
For real? Turn around.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what I'll get him, a hair jig. I'm like, I'll lead him with a hair jig. I look down, I'm like, where's my rod? I thought you picked up the tube.
So what was amazing about that little black hair jig, little fuzz ball, what was so amazing about that is that those fish, I mean, we were talking earlier about adapting with color, right? There we're following up with different things. So one fish followed up, I'm out of breath from that fight, followed up the swim bait, followed the dark sleeper, turned around, followed up, stick one on, the first one was on a tube, right?
Ned.
Ned?
The one I lost? Yeah.
No, the one before that. I caught the one before. I think it was on a tube. It had two more pop up with it. Tim ends up sticking one on a Ned. It came off, but it had another one with it. I presume we're just deducting one fish at a time. I mean, if you can see, we're out here practically in the middle of the ocean. We're 5 miles at least from shore. It's not like these fish are just going to keep piling in. So that Ned fish comes off, but we could still see the other one swimming around cruising. I threw a tube at it. Tim threw the Ned at it. It would turn, it would follow. I snuck his hair jig and she ate it right away.
Oh.
Oh,
that's a good one. I don't even know where you're at. I get that.
Breaking right. I'm throwing this little hair jig. Look at the size of that one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, forget the net. I'll deal with her. Tim, she's got 2 pounds on this one. Look at the size of this fish. Oh yeah. Wow. And this one's giant. try and lead her.
I'll keep dealing with this one. I'm throwing this hair jig on 5-pound fluoro. Just got a great big smallmouth on, but an even bigger one, significantly bigger. Just showed up out of nowhere. Tim's trying to get her on the tube. That other one being that much bigger than this one is scary. That is awesome. Little black hair jig. It works wonders out here. She's coming?
Yes, right here.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Good job, man. This is that same fish that followed. He got her to go on a Ned rig. It's a beautiful fish. Super dark. You loosen up?
She's gonna bulldog one more time, probably. On your way.
Nice.
That's a jumbo. Oh, she's got a hook coming out.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, she sure does.
Gonna grab pliers.
We'll help her with that one. Got it.
She broke someone off before.
What a fish. Wow.
Just
fell out?
Fell out. Dude, it's painful because, dude. You see that?
Yeah.
Dang, they're all.
Oh, nice.
That one turned into a bass. Wow, look how black that fish is.
Jet black.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. That's quite the goby bite. Right. How dark that fish is. So pretty. I was literally did it on the sleeper. Totally felt like a goby bite. Just let it sit there, started reeling, it got heavy, I set the hook. I don't know what's going on, but goby bites are turning into bass.
Dude. That thing is hot.
I didn't teach you a lesson. Smallmouth candy right there. Is he coming back? Come over here. Oh. Oh yes. That's awesome. You want them netted? No, I got them. Okay. Beautiful smallie. Thanks, bud.
All right, guys, unfortunately, we are calling it early today. Every time we go out on the big water, whether that's Lake Michigan, like today, whether that's Lake Superior, any of the big water, We talk a lot about respecting that weather. So I don't know if you can see these clouds up here behind me. They really don't look like much of anything, and we didn't think they were until my lightning app started going off on my phone. So we're within a few miles of lightning right now. I'm sure you can see this point right here. I don't know if you can see the point way, 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 way out on the horizon. That is about a quarter of the way back to our boat ramp. So we are not going to mess around. We are going to get out of here because we don't have a fast escape route. It's a long way. We told you at the beginning of the day we were exploring new water. A lot of times out here on the big water, that involves giant runs. We had incredible weather today and we knew it. We knew we had literally a 1-day window. Tomorrow is a giant storm. We didn't expect the warm, but storm coming in tomorrow, horrible wind, 20 to 30 mile an hour. This will be giant swells out here. So we took our 1-day shot, jammed all the way up here, went out to check a place off the bucket list and just try it. And it was successful. We caught a bunch of fish. We told you we were adapting, playing with color. Ultimately, the trick for us was really natural colors and finesse. Tube, hair jig, Ned rig. That's how we got it done, along with just sticking to that dark sleeper and going. Now, I'll link all the baits down in the video description, just like we always do. The rods, the gear we were using. I talked a little bit with the jerk bait specifically about some of those key colors. We'll link those, as well as some of those colors we try when we want to experiment and get a reaction bite. We'll give you our favorite colors and the Ned, the tube, all that as well. But with that, we need to get out of here. So I'm gonna wrap it up right now. We're gonna start running. We have got a serious run to get out of here before this weather comes in. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.